Good morning, Hampton Roads. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Virginia's only local real estate investing podcast, where we get to talk about local investors, local deals, and all things local. I'm your host, the founder of the Master Investor Academy and author of my best-selling book, Work Just Gets in the Way of Making Money, Scott Jelinek. How's everybody doing today? If you have any questions, concerns, comments, properties you'd like to sell, things you'd like to discuss, go ahead and text me at 757-699-4227. That's 757-699-4227. And once again, if you have not already done so, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and click the like button. I really appreciate that. It lets me know that you're watching. And if you are listening on the podcast, if you can go ahead and leave me a rating and review, I greatly appreciate it. It helps me get this out to more people. Speaking of getting this out to more people, if you get value from this, if you enjoy it, if you find value, if you think it's going to make an impact on your business or on your life, the information that you get here, please share it with somebody else who you believe would also get that impact as well. I appreciate it. It helps me get my message out to more people. So today is Monday. We are at least stopped the rain for a while. We were raining every day, pretty strong here for a minute. It's still cold. I think we're looking at about 32 right now, but at least the sun's shining, so we're a step in the right direction. A couple things I wanted to talk to you about today. Let's see. I always like to tell you where I ate. I know yesterday I ate at Outback. I took a bunch of kids with me, so we went to Outback by my old house, but there was some other place I went the other day, and I'm blanking out on it. I went on Friday. I went to Cooper's Hawk on Friday. Meeting with a friend of mine right before I came home. Went to Cooper's Hawk. If you guys have not been there, Cooper's Hawk is fantastic food. I'm a part of their wine club, so you get a couple bottles of wine every month. And if you're into that sort of thing, but even if you're not, their food there is absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend, if you're looking, it's right at Lynn Haven Mall, right near Lynn Haven Mall. If you're looking for a good place to have lunch or dinner, it's fantastic. Actually, they have some kind of appetizer there. It's a Brussels sprout appetizer. And you think Brussels sprouts, you're like, nah, I don't really think that's something I'm into. It is unbelievable delicious. Now, keep in mind, when something's that delicious, even though it's a Brussels sprout, there's no way it can be healthy, but it is absolutely delicious. If you go there, I recommend you try that. It was absolutely fantastic. So a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. One is that wholesale I'm doing. So I told you guys about it. I think I told you about it. I'm not sure if I ran the numbers with you yet, but it's a wholesale, Virginia Beach. I bought it. It's in really good condition. I closed on it on Thursday. And then I was meeting my agent out there on Friday, which I did. He's actually the one I went to Cooper's Hawk with afterwards. So anyway, I met him out there trying to get his opinion on what work should I do, what will be able to list it for. So I purchased this property at 142. Now, I paid their closing costs as well as my closing costs. And so all in, I was in for just under 145, about 144.5. Figure 145 because it makes easier math. So my initial thoughts when I contracted it was I would sell it at 199 and sell it as is at 199. Now, even factoring a 10% selling cost, which it's less these days because the market's so hot, but factoring a 10% selling cost brings me to 180. I'm at 145. That puts me at a $35,000 profit, which I was thrilled with. That's me not doing anything. Well, I brought him out there to see it. It needs a roof. It's not leaking or anything, but it's probably got about 2 to 3 years left on the roof. It's paint, carpet, everything's new. Everything looks great. So there's not a lot of work to do to it. So I was originally going to do the work, and he thinks if we do the work, I can list it at 239. However, I went through everything with him and I said, well, what do you think we can get if I just put it on the market as it sits today without doing anything? And so he believes that we can get 219 as it sits today. So that's what I decided to do, or at least for a short time. I'm going to give it about 10 days to 14 days. I'm listing it at 219 and I'm doing it as is, meaning I'm not putting in a roof. I'm not paying closing costs. I'm not fixing it. It doesn't need anything fixed really, but I'm doing nothing. So as is. So you could do the math with me. And if I was to do it at 239, it would probably cost me 10 grand in doing the roof and whatever little repairs need to be done. But you have about an extra 10 grand in profit there. So that's dollar for dollar. It's pretty good, except for time. And that's what people sometimes forget to factor is there would be time involved. I might be able to get it done in a couple of weeks. There's not much to do, but there's still time involved and then more time on the market. And especially with the market as hot as it is right now, I get nervous on time because, we're in a bull market now for 12 years, 13 years. And normally, what does the bull market last? 7 to 10 years. And so we know it's going to end. We don't know when. And so I'm like, hey, I'd rather sell it right now if I can and move on. And so I'm going to keep you guys informed and let you know how it turns out until I actually have a check, and I will let you know the end result with it. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you, because it kind of ties in with that, is a book I read this weekend. So I read a book probably about once a week, sometimes 2 books a week. And this one I read this weekend, it's called The Lifestyle Investor. And I really enjoyed it because it's already what I do. So I am already a lifestyle investor, although I never heard those terms before. I never heard the term lifestyle investor before. And so it led me to start thinking a lot about, why do I do certain things that I do? And a lot of times you guys and friends of mine and other investors, they'll always look back or they'll talk to me and they'll be like, I don't understand why you did that. You could make so much more money if. You could make so much more if you will do that. And I realized it all came down to that. I am a cash flow investor. That's what I am. I do cash flow investing. I prefer to invest for monthly money, not invest for what it's going to be worth 5 years or 10 years or 30 years from now. I want to invest in something and get paid monthly right now. And I think it's because I've always been on that mindset. I shouldn't say always. I've been on that mindset ever since the bust. So for about 12, 13 years now. I think that is why I have such a freedom right now. I completely am free. I have enough money coming in every month to way more pay for everything that I have. I have no bills. And so I really think that it's because I've always been along that path. And so it goes back to so many opportunities that people will say, and this wholesale is a great example. Some people I'll talk to, they'll be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. You can spend another 5, 10 grand right now and make an extra 10 to 15 grand. Why wouldn't you do that? Right. And it's a great question, except it involves me doing something. And everything I tend to invest in now, it's something that I just do and then I get paid. I don't have to be actively involved. Same thing with scaling a business. So many people are always talking, oh, scale your business, grow, get bigger, bigger. And then you have management and layers and all this stuff. I'm a very simple person. I like to do deals. I like to get paid. And when I buy my properties, and we do the slow flips. And so slow flips brings me to the next thing. People always talk about 2 things about slow flips that people don't like. One is, there's very little appreciation with slow flips, although we are seeing it right now because the market's so insane. But for years, there's been no appreciation with slow flips. So people are like, yeah, I'd rather buy in a nice Virginia Beach property that's going to go up 2, 3, 5% a year, right? On average, they say, oh, that's going to go up. And so I prefer that. And I never understand that because I'm like, I see what you're saying as far as it's going to be worth more in the future. But with the slow flips, I'm actually getting that cash now, every month, every year. I'm getting the cash rather than it being in a property that someday is worth more. I'm actually physically getting the cash right now every single month. So, it's a different way of thinking. I'm all about investing the money and getting a return monthly as opposed to investing the money and then someday it's going to be worth X amount. I'm all about the cash flow. And so I loved the terminology that I got out of this book because I've never heard the terms lifestyle investor before. And I said, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to use from now on. That's exactly what I do. Everybody always, I get people that agree with things I do and people that don't agree with things I do. But in the end, if I was able to explain it, to articulate it better, which is I'm a lifestyle investor, I just invest to fund my lifestyle. I'm not trying to build the most money and to have the biggest organization and to do more deals than anybody. I'm funding my lifestyle and doing it without me having to work, without having to go to a job. I'm doing investments that pay me every single month. And so I really enjoyed it. If that's where your head's at or where your mindset's at, I do recommend you read it. If you're not, if some people just want to scale a big business, some people just love doing that. They love being in the trenches and working on. If that's what you love, then that's not for you. But if you're into freedom and that's what you're looking for, we're working on a new program now called Freedom Accelerator, which is it's something I haven't put out yet, but it's something I'm working on, just training people not to be a bazillionaire, not to have a ton of everything going on, just to beat their lifestyle, to be free with passive income. And if that's what you're looking for, then that's a really great book to read. I think it'll get your head in the right place for what you need to do moving forward. That's all I got for you guys today. It started me thinking about are rentals really passive? Because we all talk about, passive income with rentals. Now, slow flips are passive because we're not landlords. We're just the bank. There's every now and then, it could be every 3, 5, 7 years, when there's turnover, there's a little bit of work to do. But they are very, very passive. Rentals, on the other hand, now you can have them passive with property management, although you give up a lion's share of your profit. But rentals, actual rentals, are not very passive at all, although people consider them to be passive income. They and the IRS considers it passive income, but they are not passive at all. Rentals, ask any landlord that's been landlording for years. He'll be like, no, that's my job. I'm a landlord. It's very much not a passive income. Slow flips, on the other hand, are very passive. So anyway, I'm rambling again. I just wanted to tell you that is all I got for you guys today. Think about it. Think about what you're working for. Are you working to set yourself free? Are you working just to build a mass fortune? What is it exactly that you're looking for? And then move in that direction. Do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. Keep saying that every single day. And then eventually 5 years from now, you're going to be like, you know what? I remember 5 years ago hearing Scott say that, and I did something. And today's the day I'm getting paid for it. Today's the day it all paid off. So think about that. Do something today. Your future self's going to thank you for it. Thank you for listening. Click the like button if you are, in fact, on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have an absolutely fantastic day.